So as mentioned earlier in the morning, this is the session that all of our keynote speakers will be here and present more in-depth information about, like the project that they are working on, and then we will have time for Q&A more, because in the morning the time is quite rushed. So this is the opportunity if you need to ask our keynote speakers in, like on any things that are related to the presentation in the morning. So for this afternoon, we will, please allow me to switch schedule a bit. So we will start with the perspective from K-MOOC, on the topic of recent development and future challenges for K-MOOC by Professor Heon Joo Suh. And then we will follow with the Russia case, and then at the end, the Christian will be the last presenters. So a little bit scared to switch the order. But first, please welcome our first invited speaker for this afternoon session.
Yes, what I'd like to talk about this afternoon is about recent evolutions of K-MOOC. Automatically. Sorry. Yes. And this year and early next year will be. Sorry. Will be the very critical moment in K-MOOC. This year, there will be a major change in our platform. Until this year, at end of this year, we are using the EDX open platform. But from next year, we'll use our own close or this is not approved. Sorry. Which one? This one? This one. Use timing. This one. Okay. Sorry. So now the K-MOOC staff, they are building their own platforms, because OpenEDX has some positive side, but despite that, OpenEDX doesn't provide any support for EDX users. So already this year, the Ministry of Education, they changed their policy. So switch into our own independent platform. So maybe the K-MOOC platform will have more useful features for learners and teachers altogether, I think. So today, I just briefly, the major achievement of K-MOOC in the last 4 years, and then notable development, actually notable changes in K-MOOC operation. And then last year, the K-MOOC, we made our mid-long-term development vision and strategies. So I briefly mentioned about that. And then I skipped roadmap for establishment of stable operation structures. The final is our key topic, what I like to talk about is the future directions, a revenue model, profit model. Yes, I will start with first, the major achievements of K-MOOC since its inception. K-MOOC started in 2015 with leading 10 universities in Korea. You know, the POSTEC and KAIST and Seoul National University and Korea University, Yonsei University is quite one of the top ranked universities. So we draw their reputations to attract the learners into K-MOOC. So it's kind of a strategy, yes. So since then, now here, 2018, we have over 510 MOOCs now on our platform. And also, from last year, we focused on the newly emerging strategic areas, such as fourth industrial revolution, and vocational education and training, and Korean studies. So fourth industrial revolution related MOOCs, there are 71 courses, quite many, almost 1/4 of our, 1/5 of our total MOOCs. And also vocational education and training related MOOCs, 11 courses, quite small. And Korean language and cultures related MOOCs, now we have 9 courses. But in fact, if we log on to the K-MOOC site, you can find more than 9 MOOCs. It covers from language and architecture and culture, philosophy, and Confucianism, something like that. Religion, yes. So, and also, since its inception, K-MOOC provide teaching and learning support systems different from those of existing online courses. So that means the K-MOOC, they provide kind of interaction activities. So thereby, the learners, they can feel more like involved in the courses. Actually, in the last two months, I enrolled 2 K-MOOC courses, and I finished one of them. One is about business negotiations with China, and the other is like a communication strategies. So that's interesting. I continue to communicate with the teachers, and then I ask some questions and get some answers from him. And at the end of last month, I passed his online examinations. Yes, so I was very happy. Yes. And then, so here, providing quality courses, thereby maintaining higher rate of completions. So the K-MOOC is around 10.9 completion rate compared to Harvard X and MIT X is 5.5 as of December 17. So a little bit higher. But unfortunately, Korean National Assemblymen, they criticize. The K-MOOC's completion rate is very low. We provide public fund to K-MOOC, but many learners, they drop out of the course. So what's the use of public money for K-MOOC? So K-MOOC has to raise your completion rate. But as you know, it's very difficult. As you mentioned, in the morning sessions, the professor is strict. So he mentioned the MOOC needs higher rates of dropout but it is very difficult to understand. But still, I think that is the bold assertion, I think, from my perspective, my own perspective. So, and next is the expansion, in terms of membership of K-MOOC service. So 2018, 357,000 learners on our platforms compared to year 2015, around 35,000 members. So in the last 4 years, remarkable growth. But I think now the membership reached like kind of plateau. So yes, like this. So that caused, I think, some problem for K-MOOC. So K-MOOC has served as a catalyst for changing higher education landscape by expanding MOOC-based teaching and learning methods such as flipped learning and blended learning. So as of February 2018, 24 among 80 partner universities adopt flipped learning as a teaching and learning method. That is the one important contribution of K-MOOC to Korean higher education. The next is notable changes in K-MOOC operations. I'm going to briefly mention about 4 aspects. First, the contents. In terms of contents, until 2017, we focus on the university because we select through public bidding 30 leading universities in Korea. All of them, most of them are ranked top 30. So Korean people, they prefer the quality contents from leading universities. So if you just heard, oh, this contents from Seoul National University, oh, we can believe the quality, something like that. So the K-MOOC, until 2017, we used that kind of brand and reputations of leading universities. So university-centered contents. But 2018, we changed. We do not rely on the leading universities' reputations or brands. So we go down the course levels. So we have 20 leading universities, but individual course level, we have 30, more than 10, those of 2017. And then 2019, same core centers, but leading universities goes down 20, down 10 from 20. So only 10 universities, they provide MOOC contents to K-MOOC. But in terms of individual course, 50. And also packaged course. I think the Taiwan MOOC, they provide a specialization series course. So almost same. So we say packaged courses. It's kind of a serious course. So one course have 5 to 7 courses together. So you can have kind of in-depth understanding through this packaged course. And also, in terms of type of partner institutions, until 2017, we focused on the universities. But 2018, we opened almost every level of universities, colleges. So universities, colleges, industrial colleges, even cyber universities, they can enter. They can upload their MOOC contents on K-MOOC. So that's this kind of a revolutionary measures in K-MOOC in the context of Korean education. Originally, until 2017, when I was in charge of K-MOOC, we tried to exclude cyber university because K-MOOC operates also on the online. So also, and besides, we cannot guarantee the quality of MOOCs from cyber universities. So some Korean people, they think the contents, online contents from cyber university tends to lower. So we reflect that kind of thought. So we try to, yes, dissuade cyber university to enter the K-MOOC. So in 2018, I like this, and then in this year, we expand more. Here, the second, third, public research institutes can join the K-MOOC and provide contents, and also private enterprise and its affiliated research institutes, they can provide the MOOC contents on K-MOOC platform. And also vocational education institutions and also non-profit public foundations, charity foundations, they can also provide MOOC content. So that's this kind of development. And also there's an evolution in funding schemes. In terms of funding schemes, until 2017, the government, the Ministry of Education, provide $45,000 for newly developed courses, and also the Ministry of Education provide $9,000 for existing courses. But 2018 we changed a little bit. We provide $35,000 to $45,000 for newly developed courses, depending on the number of weeks. So some professors, they prefer like a 7 to 8 weeks course, but others, they prefer 13 to 15 week courses. So depending on the duration, length of weeks, we provide the fund differentially. And existing course, 9,000, same. But this year, 2019, we add subtitle for the deaf. So if they develop the book contents with the subtitle for the deafs, they can get extra money, around $4,500 to $9,000. And also, before 2019, English as a subtitle is compulsory, but this year, selected, not compulsory. But most universities, they add English as a subtitle because they think their MOOC contents can be used for international audiences. So they add English as a subtitle. And now this is one of the important changes in K-MOOC. The usage of K-MOOC certificate. Until 2018, the expansion of the usage of K-MOOC for credit, innovative teaching and learning methods, like flipped learning, and vocational education and training. But from this year, the same as above, but formulating the quality MOOC courses as a credit course, certified by Academic Credit Bank System of National Institute for Lifelong Education that I work for. We have the National Institute for Lifelong Education has Academic Credit Bank System since 1998, so almost over 20 years. This is very important changes. And this is mid long-term vision and strategy. Building an online knowledge learning and knowledge sharing platform for all people. This is a vision of K-MOOC. At the end of last year, the team, they made these visions. And then the first strategy one, expanding the development of quality courses and advancing the learning support service. Quality books, as you mentioned in the morning. So expanding specialized, degree-oriented, and packaged and vocational courses. And second, securing global MOOC contents by expanding the linkage with foreign MOOC platforms. So I think K-MOOC may contact with Taiwan MOOC. Already they have a connection with Suetang. So they exchange many contents. And also advancing learning support service based on big data learning analytics. And this is for stretch one. And second is expanding the MOOC contents and usage of the results of courses completions. So strengthening the linkage of K-MOOC with academic credit bank system, as well as the accreditation of MOOCs for vocational education and training for employees. This will be like a source of revenue in the future. And second, expanding the usage of K-MOOC linked with the match-up program. It's kind of the American, the counterpart, same. I forgot. Udacity, yeah, same. Almost same programs. And high school credit hour systems. So now I think the high school students, they can watch, they learn K-MOOC and then get some credit from the K-MOOC. And thirdly, expanding innovations in university education using MOOCs and accredited courses of K-MOOC. That's the strategy 2. And the final one is enhancing knowledge sharing through innovation of operational structure of K-MOOC. So building K-MOOC's independent platforms, consolidating both K-MOOC and a similar platform, KSW. So KSW is, if you delete K, OCW, Open Courseware. So some Korean people, especially politicians, they mention K-MOOC and KSW is overlap. So it is necessary to consider integration to platforms. So to form a single one and connecting to other global, local online learning platforms. So it's kind of national digital platforms. And introducing paid service. Now, K-MOOC considering paid service. Unhappy news for learners. In order to encourage independent institutions to develop quality MOOCs without government funding. You know, nowadays, the welfare spending is increasing. So public fund is now under tight control. So the K-MOOC, they have to find alternative source of fund. Yes? And enterprise customized online vocational education services. And laying the legislative and institutional foundation for K-MOOCs. Yes, that's the strategy and roadmap. Just I show you. The first phase, like a pilot service stabilizations. And second phase, advancement in K-MOOC service. And third phase, introduction of paid service from 2021 till 2023. And fourth phase, transformation of K-MOOC as knowledge sharing platforms. It's kind of open market concept. Yes. And future directions. In search of self-sufficiency by introducing a revenue model. This is not my opinion, my ideas. The K-MOOC, they are considering. From 2015 until this year to date, this year, $8,250,000 we get from. But as I mentioned just before, nowadays the Moon Jae-in government, they spent in the area of welfare and health care, something like that. So the public fund is now under strict control. So K-MOOC has no choice but to find alternative source of fund. So here the question. Under the tight budget constraint, how to secure the sustainability of K-MOOC without losing its character as a public good? I mentioned MOOC is public goods. So what is to be done in order to secure less costly but quality MOOCs for all people? This is a question, and this is K-MOOC's answer. Introduction of paid service is kind of pilot project. So introducing paid service for MOOCs which are independently produced by private institutes using their own funds. And also introduction of credit MOOCs. So as I mentioned, minimum fee charged for some services such as attendance management and question making and assessment and offline special lectures and sit-in examination and its processing fees. So minimum fees will be paid, I think. And also, as I mentioned, introducing an accreditation arrangement for a certain number of MOOCs linked with academic credit bank system. And thirdly, issue paid certificates like edX and Coursera. And then lastly, operation of B2B service, business to business. In other words, corporate training. So like the Fun MOOC in France, they had a contract with the corporate. And then like they charge annual fee from the corporate companies. So K-MOOC also considering introducing that service. Yes, here's the class central Shah. He mentioned 6 tiers of MOOC monetization. So K-MOOC is located around here, micro-credential and credit, something like that. And then in the near future, they will considering corporate training, but they are not considering online degrees. Because many universities and colleges, I think they dislike introducing online-based like a formal degree programs. Yes. So, yes, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. So, for such a insightful information about K-MOOC. So, any question from the floor? If not, I have one. I heard that like Cyber University, the way they do assessment, they do like, those kind of eye recognition and that use the technology because they're totally online. So same thing happened with the K-MOOC?
They think, considering, of course, yeah, but still like online like authentications is not totally reliable. So it's kind of unwillingness to accept the reality as it is. So university authorities, they still prefer offline practice.
In terms of the assessment. Okay, great. Yes, please.
Потому что если вы возьмете, например, историю искусств, она будет только дополняться. А если вы возьмете историю государства, то история может изменяться. Как долго живет МООК? Сделали на следующий год актуально?
The question is, how long is the lifetime of the Korean MOOC? Suppose it's the MOOC on the history of arts. History of arts is not like changing a lot, the history. But the history of government is changing like every year. The point of views, the thing. So the lifetime of the Korean MOOC, how much is that? Or you are developing it step by step?
Established. So originally, it started.
How often do you update the courses?
Update course.
Yeah.
We recommend the MOOC contents providers every 2 years. So from this year, I think the K-MOOC, they provide some update contents update fund. So like almost I think $10,000 for each course.
Thank you a lot. My personal question, are there any online Korean courses I can enter as a Russian student for free, like for fun? Anything like interesting Korean culture or something?
If you are interested in Korean language, as I mentioned, there's a series of
Maybe arts and culture more.
Yes, of course we have. Most of Korean MOOCs, they have English as a subtitle. So
Oh, it's not actually English language, right?
Not English, but like a data science, some courses the professors.
Oh no, thank you. No, that is not.
But we have like a architecture MOOCs.
But it's all on this in the same system, same website, right?
Yeah.
Thank you a lot. Thank you.
What kind of function they are not supported by ADES, so you want to change to a new one?
Function you mean?
Yeah. What kind of function they are not supported by ADES, so you want to develop it by yourself?
The EDX open source, EDX they haven't provide any technical support for
Technical support.
platforms.
Okay.
So I think every 2 years we upgrade our EDX versions, and then their versions like collide with like our existing policies, such as privacy policies. So we cannot fully operate the open EDX systems. So we have kind of some complaints and we have some problems. So our technical staff and the Ministry of Education, they think, oh, it is better to have our own systems.
From new or based
Totally
on
new.
Totally new.
Yes.
Wow. It's
Because
okay. It's still
as you know, the Korean, they think, we think we have like enough knowledge and technology, so we can develop our own LMS and CMS systems.
Okay. Thank you.
So if there is no further question, please give a big hand to Dr. Heon Joo Suh. Thank you so much.